What's going on, guys? Vesikk here, finally bringing in the final 2 episodes of this season, except we have one more episode after this video is up. I'm going to be announcing it on my Twitter, so please follow me on Twitter to know when I'm live streaming the final episode, which is in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be live streamed on YouTube Gaming. Going to increase the race length to 50% or even 100%. No flashbacks, none of that. It's going to be whatever happens, happens. Basically, it's going to be a crazy race. But anyway, we're getting into this race around Russia. No, not Russia, sorry. Around Mexico. So lights out and away we go. We have our teammate Vettel. We actually qualified in 6th place, but I'm not showing qualifying just because it is a special video with 2 races. This race will be Mexico and Brazil. So basically we're down into 7th, now back into 6th, locking up, hitting the back of our teammate, getting a bit racy with Ricardo as we pushed him out wide. Now trying to catch up to these two drivers in front of us who are also battling it out. Vettel and Massa both lock up at the same time. Going into the corner, we went a bit deep into the corner. We're definitely holding it around because we have Perez trying to look, and Massa and Vettel are definitely going side by side. A little bit of contact between the two, but that's alright. That's what racing's about. So basically we get pretty close to Vettel, almost touching him. Now we hit Vettel. Unfortunately we didn't damage our front wing. Hopefully we didn't damage Vettel's car, but it definitely gave him the advantage in front of Massa, as now we're looking at Massa going down the inside. We're going to look at Vettel. No, we're not. Vettel's going to cut us off, and I believe that looks like to be rain starting. So we're now having a somewhat wet race. Rain's coming down. We're definitely going to have to think about tyre strategy, because we selected the tyre strategy for a dry race. So this is definitely going to make an interesting race in terms of weather. Coming on to lap 5, rain is getting heavier now, definitely sliding around. That is also because my tyres are starting to be worn out, and yeah, Vettel's going into the pits. So essentially Ferrari are holding us out of the pits, and we're going to go up into P2, I believe. Yes, P2. So at the moment we're on a podium position if we can hold this out, but the rain is coming down, and I believe all the drivers in the pits actually went for a dry tyre because AI do that even though it's light rain. So yeah, we're staying out. Every car is with dry tyres, but I've noticed that the temperature has dropped dramatically on our tyres. So I'm coming into the pits. I'm going to do a risky strategy. So this was not organized by the team, and my tyres were really worn out. So I'm actually going to put on intermediate tyres, hoping to get the advantage. But after looking at the temperature already, it's definitely proving that the track is not wet enough, but it was going to be a risk because if I stayed out any longer, I was going to lose time. But if I put a dry tyre on, then I was just essentially wasting a pit stop. So at the moment I'm the only car to have intermediate tyres on, so it's definitely going to prove a factor within the next few laps as the rain starts to come down heavy and the track gets a lot more wetter. But anyway, I don't even think wet is a word, but a lot more wet. But anyway, we're coming down. We've gone right past Verstappen. Now Perez gets the lead on us, and I think that is Grosjean looking behind us. There he is. Grosjean's next to us. We keep Grosjean behind us. Perez is a different story. He's right in front of us, but as you can see, he's struggling for traction. My tyres are definitely proving to be the better choice during this race, but now because of his dry tyres, he gets the faster run, and we tried to go down the inside, but we accidentally got stuck to the end of his car, and temperature wise the front of my tyres are starting to overheat, so I need to actually get off the dry racing line. So I'm trying to stay well out of behind Perez. So taking a different line, it's definitely going to damage my time, but I'm not here for time. I'm here to keep the tyres alive because I know these drivers in front of me have to go into the pits, as they are now going into the pits. So all the cars who were in front of me have gone into the pits, but the next three cars in front of me haven't pitted. So Like, they haven't gone into the pits for wet tires. So anyway, or intermediate tires. So anyway, we're coming down, and that is Lewis Hamilton now on to the intermediate tires as we are now on a podium position. The risky strategy definitely proven to work during this race. I'm really happy with how it turned out to be. Now, this is the thing. We're going to have to catch up to Rosberg, and DRS enabled definitely means that the track is drying out. So at this stage of the race, we have a few laps to go. I'm not sure what tyre to be on. All the cars seem to still be on the same tyre compound as me. So I'm just going to stay out, hoping for the best. Vettel gets a better traction as I just start to wheel spin like crazy. Definitely have Hamilton behind us, closing really fast with that Mercedes AMG engine and the Mercedes aerodynamics. But we managed to keep him behind us. So we're going to have a look at a dive bomb, but it's pretty far back to be on Vettel. As we go in deep into the corner, we're definitely taking a different line, keeping Hamilton behind us, not letting him overtake us, but with a bad traction out of the corner. Hamilton definitely has DRS and is looking to attack, but now we keep him behind us once again, getting the apex perfectly, going a bit too deep into that corner, and just not enough traction or enough grip. Lap 18, we're going to stay on this flying lap as we have Hamilton going down the inside. Now we're going back down. Hamilton going out wide. This is definitely going to prove a problem as Hamilton is right behind us, and also a Red Bull in the mirrors. And if you look at the damage, it is just atrocious for tyre management. This is definitely going to be something I'm going to have to look after for next year's as we make contact with Ricciardo. Going down the inside of Ricciardo, going almost hitting the side pod of Hamilton. We were almost so close to taking out Hamilton. Going down again, Hamilton leaves the room, so we went for it. Definitely side by side with Hamilton now as we start to wheel spin, but that's okay. And at this stage, I accidentally did not leave enough room for Lewis and didn't get a penalty, so I was quite happy with that. But Nico Rosberg is our winner, and I'm just managing the fuel because I know that I still have a Red Bull behind me that I have to keep a careful eye on, even if it's the final few corners. But here we come around for the final corner across the line to get on the podium, something I didn't think would happen, but the race definitely turned out to be better for us, especially during that tyre strategy call. So 2 Ferraris on the podium, best thing to happen for Ferrari. And that was the Mexican Grand Prix. So I think we're going to show the race results for a quick moment as Nico Rosberg sprays the champagne on the camera, congratulating everyone. I enjoyed that race. Qualifying wasn't as good, but the race was definitely something to enjoy. Here we are. So Daniel Ricciardo 4th, Lewis Hamilton down in 5th. And yeah, that was about it. So coming into Brazil now, we actually qualified first. We were pretty fast. We were like half a second faster than the rest of the competition. Anyway, lights out and away we go. So I'm using a third person camera, so I hope you guys enjoy this type of thing as we now do the switch on Rosberg, going down the inside, getting really close to Rosberg. Didn't actually make any contact, I believe, but now we have better exit, but Rosberg's going to be in the slipstream with the Mercedes OP. Definitely not optimizing from it, so I think he may be in the dirty air. So we're going to go around this corner and we go out wide just as normal because Brazil's not one of my strengths for tracks. Nico Rosberg is really, really close. There's a whole train behind us. Everyone's still close even though it's the first lap. So we're going around on this camera. I actually do like the F1 2015 cameras. 2016 I hope is really nice. But anyway, we've still got the lead, and at this stage you can see the from P4 to P1 there's starting to become a gap. So I was quite interested in how the performance was going to be, especially when I had 2 Mercedes behind me, or 3 Mercedes engine based cars behind me with a Ferrari in 5th. So as you can see, both Mercedes AMGs really close. I'm taking the quickest line as possible, and we're finally back on board. So I hope you enjoyed that sort of camera feel. I intend to do it more often in 2016, probably after a while, better editing and all that stuff. But we're still in P1 on lap 2, coming on to lap 7 now. This is our pit stop lap. Still been P1. There hasn't actually been much of a challenge. We did manage to get a lead, but now Massa is going to go past us as he has not pitted yet. So he's going to be, even Verstappen hasn't pitted yet. So we're coming into the pits. We're going to see a pretty fast pit stop of 2.6 seconds, I believe. I can't actually see the text from here. The preview window is pretty small. But we're down into P6 now. So all the cars in front of us actually haven't pitted. So it's been an interesting stretch between the tyres for drivers. Some cars, like Rosberg and all that, actually came in before me. So I was really impressed and intrigued by what the tyre choices were for the AI drivers. Like, did some start on the harder compound and are now going on to the soft, or did they manage to do a bit of tyre management for their soft tyres? But anyway, end of lap 8, these cars are now starting to come in. So Jensen Button starting to come into the pits, and we're going to get back into P2, maybe even P1, I'm not sure. I believe, yes, it's P2, because Carlos Sainz still has not come into the pits. So at this stage of the race, I was hoping that it wasn't one of those glitched AI moments where Carlos doesn't actually have to pit, because that did happen in one of the races earlier this season, I believe, where one of the AI cars didn't pit and they were just flying past us. So anyway, Nico Rosberg is right behind us, and he's definitely making the moves as we go a bit deep into that corner. Now we're going to have to hug. We're really hugging the curb, but Nico Rosberg was around our outside, definitely looking at us, and we're just not making it work with these tyres. And end of lap 9, coming on to lap 10, Carlos finally pits. So Carlos went the furthest distance with 10 laps worth of pretty worn out tyres if he did do the soft compound. Otherwise, he did pretty well to be on the harder tyres, as Nico Rosberg is definitely looking down our inside. I don't know if that's my fault. I did close the gap, so he still went for it, and I'm not sure why he would go for it, even though it wasn't an opportunity. Otherwise, he would have gone off the track. But anyway, Lewis Hamilton gets in front of us. So Nico Rosberg did have issues. I believe he had a broken front wing that he had to go into the pits to fix. Now we're on lap 17, and Lewis Hamilton is just all over our gearbox, even though he's a few car lengths behind. On lap 18 now, this is where it got interesting. Lewis Hamilton, we started to have pretty worn out tyres as we pitted quite early in the race. Lewis Hamilton, even though he pitted before us, did have better time management than us. I'm just watching the fuel, knowing when I can attack and when I have to defend. As Lewis Hamilton looks down the inside, he's still there. He's hugging the corner, going around us, having the better line. We're going off onto the outside of the track, but we still got it. We're going to go down the inside now, and we're pretty much switching positions as Lewis Hamilton almost has a look down our inside, and he's going to stay behind us, watching for any mistakes, and he's just going to attack as we're sitting on the curb, making sure we don't let Lewis have any chance down the inside line. And we're going back down, closing the door, not letting him have a chance. Final few corners, this is where it's going to get interesting. He's so close to us, we just have to keep it all smooth. As we go a bit slow into that corner, Lewis has a better exit than us, better traction. Going down to the line, I'm starting to run out of fuel. As you can see, the fuel light blinking. Lewis is in our slipstream now. DRS, this is, I think, DRS, but anyway, this is going to be interesting. And across the line to get P1. So we qualified P1 and we finished P1. So Felipe Massa P3, Lewis Hamilton P2, and ourselves P1. What that does mean is Lewis Hamilton is the world champion for 2015, as in real life. So he has won the Drivers' Championship. I believe Oh, if you saw that, a car was still driving into the pits, which was really interesting. But anyway, Lewis Hamilton is the Drivers' Championship for this season. In terms of constructors, I believe there's still a chance. We just need both Mercedes to do really poorly and both Ferraris to do really well. So I think we need both Ferraris to be P1, P2, and both Mercedes to not even be in the points. But even then, that might be a bit tricky. I'm not sure. Ferrari may be in the points, or may still be fighting for second. But in terms of Drivers' Championship, as you can see, Lewis Hamilton has won. Nico Rosberg still has a chance at... No, he doesn't. No, Sebastian Vettel has got second place. So I think we still have a chance with... I don't think we actually do. I think this is our position. We're just defending our position now compared to the drivers behind. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this. And I'll see you guys for the live stream. Please follow me on Twitter and all that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later.